Good afternoon and welcome to Mindful Hatha Yoga with me, Kalyani Nicole of Idlewild Yoga. So we are entering the summer solstice in a few weeks. I think today is actually, or this evening is a full moon. So a lot of activity going on. I know that today and in this moment in time, a lot of people are feeling a lot of unsettledness, no other way to put it. So today's practice is going to keep all of that in mind, knowing that when we are in that place of unsettledness, there is a reason. And oftentimes it's an opportunity to delve a little deeper into what we're feeling and why we're feeling that, and maybe even finding some ways to grow from that. So it's not always easy to be with the uncomfortable feelings, but yoga teaches us many ways to be able to be present with that which is uncomfortable and to move through it, and in that process, even transform. So that's kind of the focus for tonight's practice. And kind of just keeping our bodies a little more grounded through all of this time as well. So let's get started with a blanket. If you want a folded blanket, I always have two with me, just that's what I like to have. Some props you might like to have are a couple of blocks. Some of you may need those, or even a bolster or a stack of pillows. We'll come to a seated position first to start. We're going to start with a little centering. You may even like to sit on the edge of a folded blanket as I do, but some of you may even choose to be more up higher on, say, the bolster or a pillow. Some of you may even have a meditation cushion. Those are also really nice for elevating the pelvis, in effect raising the floor for you. So whatever position you choose, we want to find that place where we can rest with our knees comfortably relaxed away from the body. And that's why sometimes it'll be nice to sit on a folded blanket or up on that pillow or bolster, especially if your knees are coming up relatively high. So feeling that base of your body, and I'll encourage you to find a place that feels the best for your body. Cross-legged is what I'll be doing. It's also okay to sit with your legs out straight, or even to sit in a kneeling position in hero's pose, and you can even do that seated on a block as well. So finding the base wherever you're at, feeling the base of the pelvis just reaching downward into the floor, into the earth, and even just letting that tailbone just drop a little bit more downward. Sometimes our tailbone is lifted in some of us, especially if we have a propensity to allow our pelvis to tilt forward. If you round your back and the tailbone curls under, then you may need to find that place where you're actually bringing that tailbone out behind you a little bit more. But feeling that tailbone reaching downward into the earth, feeling the legs active and strong, reaching downward as well. Lengthening through the spine. It's kind of nice to just circle the shoulders here for just a moment as we begin to settle into our seated position. And just letting the shoulders rest away from the ears. Elbows under the shoulders. Palms could be up or down. Crown of the head reaching up to the sky. Now, some of us have been working at computers all day and our heads have this tendency to come forward. So if you feel like that is your body and you know that, then bringing that base of that skull back a little more in line with your pelvis. Eyes are closed. We're going to just drop in here, bringing awareness and focus to your breath. So inhaling, breathing into the belly, in through the nose. Exhale from the belly, out through the nose. Just beginning to draw that breath deeper into your being, down into the belly, up into the collarbone area, a little higher with each breath. Those of you who practice with me regularly know we transition here at this point into our 3-part breath. So those of you that is new to, we're going to draw the breath in through the nose, down into the belly. Next, we're going to fill the rib cage area and then the collarbone area. These areas will expand and open with this inhale. And then the exhale, we're going to let the breath come out, up through the nose from the base, the rib cage, and then the collarbones last. So it's creating this wave of breath just flowing into our bodies, nourishing the body in each inhale. And let the exhales be gentle as well and soft. So we're not forcing this breath. As I tell you to bring it deeper into the abdomen, higher into the collarbones, I want you to do that with awareness. So you're not forcing the breath. The breath will move to those areas over time with just awareness of expanding into those areas. So try not to force the breath here and just bring awareness to the desire to move the breath a little bit deeper into the body. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Lifting through the sternum, tailbone dropping. So lift through that breastbone. Drop that tailbone down. Feeling the fullness of the breath through the sides of the body, through the back of the body. And let your awareness continue to settle there as you scan with the breath, the mind, noticing the areas that feel a little more difficult to expand the breath into. And without any judgment, just have awareness that those areas are tight. With each inhale, even encouraging the breath to just kind of nourish those areas that feel a little tight. Each exhale, encouraging the body to soften and let go a little bit more. Good. And now I want you to imagine this breath as you inhale, rising up from the base, just underneath where the tailbone kind of is, up the front of the body, up to the crown of the head as you inhale, and then the exhale flowing from the crown of the head down the back side of the body, back down to the tailbone. So inhaling up the front of the body, nice and slow, moving with awareness. And exhaling down the back of the body, just kind of scanning down. Those of you who know the chakra system, I'm going to invite you to inhale and connect into the point in the front of your body where that chakra lies, each one of the 7 major chakras, and then doing the same down the back side of the body, just kind of checking into each point as you inhale up the front, exhale down the back. Those of you who do not know the chakra system, I don't want to get into that today. We're going to do a series on that, I think, over the summer. But just continue to kind of scan the front of the body as you move the breath up on the inhale. Exhale, allowing the breath to flow down the back side of the body. It's creating this circuit. Bringing your hands to your heart center, letting the thumbs gently press into your sternum. Lifting again through that breastbone, that sternum. If you've begun to slouch a little bit, it's very common. Drop the tailbone. That dropping of the tailbone, especially if you tip your pelvis forward normally, helps open up the back body, bringing more balance in the breath between the front and the back body. Press your hands together, a little action there. Lengthening up through the spine, up through the crown of the head. We're going to open class with one gentle om in a moment, but first, taking a nice, long, deep breath. Open the mouth and exhale through the mouth, sighing. And let's inhale for that om. Go ahead and release those hands. We're going to take the hands behind us, lean on the hands, let the fingers point in towards your back, and take your feet wider than your hips. So we're just going to rock the knees side to side, releasing them from being in that seated position. Even here, you may notice some differences as we rock the knees side to side, feeling the tightness in the body. One side may feel tighter than the other. That's very common, very normal. I don't, again, want you to bring any judgment into that fact, just awareness of that side's tighter, so that means we need to do a little more stretching on that side, a little more breath work into encouraging that side to release. We're going to come back to our seated position that we were just in, and crossing our legs the opposite way we had them. So if your right foot was in front, let's put your left foot in front. Or coming back to that kneeling position or the legs in front, whichever feels better. We're just going to do a few joint opening exercises here. Reaching down through the base of the body, lengthening up through the spine again, and just keeping that spine long. Now we just want to have our hands on our thighs. We're just going to come into a few seated cat-cows. So curl the tailbone under. I'm going to let you round your back here. Chin comes in towards the chest. Inhale, I'm going to rock up and open up through the heart, widen through the collarbones, deep breath in. Don't tip your head back too far. Keep lengthening up through that back of the neck with the belly still open. Exhaling, we're going to round that back, curl the tailbone under. Coming back and forth a few times like this, inhaling and lifting and opening up through the chest and the collarbones. Exhale, curling that tailbone under. Inhaling up. Maybe getting a little opening in the hips here, exhaling, especially if you're sitting cross-legged. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding. One more, inhale, lifting up. Good. Coming back to neutral. I just want to bring a little awareness to our wrist. So our wrists get a lot of stress during the day, a lot of things we just don't even realize we're doing. So what I want to do is we'll take our left hand out in front of us, keep the arm long. You can even keep it about shoulder height. Just take your right hand, and I'm going to press into the back of the hand, not the fingers, and pull that towards you. You're going to feel that opening all the way up into the forearm there sometimes, but relax the shoulder away from the ear. We don't want the shoulders creeping up. Just breathe into that wrist and enjoy that little bit of an opening there. It doesn't matter how far back the back of the hand goes, it's totally fine. Breathing. It's nice to just slow down here and pay attention to some of these other areas of the body. You're going to spin your hand so your palm is up. And you're going to, again, pull in the palm, not the fingers. I want you to pull in the palm. You can pull at the base of the palm and stretch and open the forearm on this side. Breathing into the tightness you're feeling. Keep the shoulders relaxing. You can even think about drawing that left shoulder blade in toward the spine, supporting that. Watch that you're not hyperextending the elbows if you have hypermobile elbows or joints. Just kind of keeping a little bit of maybe even a slight bend in that left elbow as you stretch. That will keep the stretch a little more in that forearm and wrist. Good, and then slowly releasing out of that. Do that with the right hand now. Take the palm, draw that towards you. The back of the hand is what we're pushing against right now. Breathing into what you're feeling in the forearm and the wrist. Good, and then rotating palm up this time. Draw the palm back towards you now. So again, pulling the palm, not the fingers. We don't want to pull on those ligaments and tendons right now. We just want to stretch open the wrist and the forearm. Watching the hyperextension of that right elbow if you're hyper mobile joints. You've all seen those people, they can do the freakishly weird pulling the thumb all the way back toward their forearm kind of stuff. Take another breath here. Good, we're gonna release and just kind of shake that out. Let that move. And then just interlacing our fingers, bring the wrist up to eye level, point the index fingers up and make figure eights in the air. Let the forearms just glide against each other. And just letting the wrist have a moment here, breathing into them. Shoulders are still staying relaxed. Reverse direction of your figure eights. Sometimes it's helpful to look at those index fingers and see which direction they were going. And reverse that motion. Good, and go ahead and relax and shake that out. Let's lean back. If your feet were cross-legged or out straight, bend the knees. We're gonna take the feet over to the right, knees will point to the left, just setting up for a gentle twist on this side. Inhale, reach down through that tailbone and reach the arms up nice and tall. We're gonna exhale and twist around to your left. Drop the right hand outside the left knee and the left arm behind you. Inhale, lengthen to the spine, and exhale, sink into your twist. And then we'll inhale, arms up, take them down behind you, lean back. And we'll reverse the knees, knees to the right, feet to the left. Inhale, reaching up, tailbone dropping down. Exhaling to the right, left hand outside the right knee, right arm behind you. As we inhale, we want to create length through the spine, and exhale, come into your twist. Good, and then inhaling, arms up, releasing back to front. We're going to take the hands in front of us. Making our way into table. We're going to move right from table into Anahata Asana or puppy pose. So table, if you have socks on for any reason, it's time to take the socks off. Knees can be hip width apart. You can have a blanket under the knees, but I want hands and feet actually on your mat. And we want the hands to be shoulder width apart, creases of the wrist line up at the top edge of the mat. But from there, keeping the hands shoulder width apart or walking them forward, keeping the creases still parallel with the top edge of the mat. Fingers are spread. We're going to drop the head down between the forearms, stretching back through the tailbone. Draw the belly button in, tuck that tailbone again, neutrals tailbone to keep the front ribs from jutting out. Press into the mound of the index finger and the base of the thumb. Roll the inner elbows and inner arms up toward the ceiling and see how that creates a little space in the neck. Breathing here, breathing into the shoulders. Good. Inhale, lifting up, walking the hands back towards you, knees wider than Hips, big toes together. We're going to shift back to child's pose. But keep your arms overhead. Walk the hands over to the left, stretching. Keeping that right hip stretching back. Breathe through the right side of the body. Good. Let's walk the hands through the center over to the right hand side. Same thing, stretch the left hip back. Breathe through the left side of the body. Good. Walk the hands back through the center. We're going to curl the toes under, walking the hands towards you, lift the hips, come right into forward fold. Keep the knees bent if you know your hamstrings are tight, especially the first forward fold here. Breathe through your spine, through the back of the legs. Let the torso just hang. If you want, you can hold opposite elbows. Breathing, just release. You can even move a little here. If it feels good to move, feel free to move. Explore. Opening up the low back, the sacrum, the hamstrings, pushing firmly into your feet. Good, let's come up to a flat back here. So hands can be on the lower legs or the thighs, and just stretch long here, sending the tailbone back behind you, and then stretching the crown of the head away from that sacrum. Arms out to T position, push firmly into your feet and reach all the way up. Dropping that tailbone, and then exhale, arms down by your side. Great. So we're gonna get ready now for some Surya Namaskar, or sun salutation. And we'll go slow through this first round. We're not gonna go super fast through any of the rounds, but we will do 3 rounds. And I really want you to move with intention and awareness through this. So not just like flowing quickly through the motions, because sometimes you miss the little subtleties when we do that. So we're gonna take some time here and start feet hip width or together. I need to give a little space here. Whichever you're choosing, lift those toes for a moment. It's really fun to just play with that. We sometimes forget that our toes are even like there and that we can actually access them and move them. So it's fun to lift them up, and it elongates that surface underneath your foot, believe it or not, giving you a little more awareness and surface and contact with the floor, with the earth, with your mat. Reach down through the mount of the big toe, the mount of the little toe, and the center of the heel. And if your toes are lifted, just for fun, see if you can stretch them out on the floor as you release them down like you were spreading your fingers. Try not to grip the toes into the floor. We just want them to rest there. Tailbone is neutral. Sometimes I like to actually stick my butt out behind me a little bit, create a little more space back there. You feel that little bit of opening. Tuck the tailbone into that space and draw it forward, but keep drawing the thigh bones back. Engaging that like that. Belly button gently in and up, lengthening through the spine. Circle those shoulders up and back and down. Shoulder blades draw in toward the spine. Crown of the head reaches up. Deep breath in here in Samastahiti from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And back down to the soles of your feet. Next, inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale the hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, palms face forward, lifting up and out of the waist, gentle back bend. And exhale, lengthening into forward fold. Inhale, step back with that right foot. Bring the right knee down for a low lunge. And I like to take a moment, especially in this first one, to just breathe into my hips. Place your hands on either side of that foot. You can have your toes in line with the big toe. Lift the hips, step back to plank. Press through the heels. Draw the shoulder blades toward the spine. Tailbone is neutral. Lengthen through the breastbone. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Keep the elbows in. Coming into 8 points pose. Pushing up into cobra. Elbows are still in. Shoulders away from the ears, widen through the collarbone. Curl the toes under, press back, downward dog. Oh, our first downward dog. So let's take a moment, pedal through the heels, release one foot and then the other. Breathing into the back of those legs. Having some fun here, so being a little more playful if you want, but just moving the body. Press into those hands, lift those hips up a little bit more, reach the heels down. On your next inhale, we're going to step that right foot forward and bring the left knee down. I'll pause on this side for just a moment, breathe into the hips. And on an exhale, we're going to lift the hips and step forward to our forward fold. Inhale, we push into our feet, sweep the arms all the way back up. Gentle back bend. And exhale into your forward fold. Lengthening the torso down. Inhaling that left foot back, left knee down. We're going to retain that breath, that inhale as we step back for our plank. And exhaling, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back to downward dog. Inhaling, stepping that left foot forward, bring the right knee down. And exhaling, right foot forward to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, arms by our side. Samastahiti. So again, we're going to flow through that same flow. Moving with awareness, mindfully placing the feet, the hands, moving with intention. Reaching down through the 3 points of your feet. Feet are together or hip width. Lengthen through the spine. Reaching through the crown of the head. So bridging between the earth and the heavens, between the feet and the crown of the head. Inhaling, arms up. And exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale into forward fold. Inhale that right foot back, right knee down. Retain your breath as you step back for plank. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back to downward dog. Inhale, step that right foot forward, bring the left knee down. Exhaling, left foot forward to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Gentle back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, left knee down. Retain the breath, stepping back for plank. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhaling back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Exhaling, right foot forward, forward. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, arms by our side. We are creating heat in the body. So reaching through the feet, crown of the head stretching up. Deep breath in and out. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, right foot back, right knee down. Retain your breath, stepping back for plank. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhaling back, downward dog. Inhaling, right foot forward, left knee down. Exhaling, left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up. And engaging those glutes, back bend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, left knee down. Retain your breath, step back to plank. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back to downward dog. Inhale that left foot forward. Bring the right knee down. Exhaling, right foot forward, forward, fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, hands by your side. Breathing and really just honoring this warming practice. Bringing our body to a place where it's now warmed and ready to receive the rest of our asana practice. Moving still mindfully through all of our poses. We're going to start today with archer pose. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to come to the other edge of my mat. You're going to stay at the top of your mat. You're going to step back with the right foot about 3 or 4 feet and bring that foot to an angle. So a 30 to 45 degree angle. The left foot stays forward. Our feet are about hip width apart. Drawing the left hip back in, right hip forward so that we're squaring the pelvis toward the top of the mat. Tailbone is neutral. Try to find some balance between the right and the left foot and the 3 points of both feet. Playing with balance is something, and I don't mean we're balancing on a leg, but the balance between equaling out opposites. So reaching down firmly through the left foot and the right foot. Lengthening up through the spine. Bring your arms up to shoulder height. We're going to draw that right hand back by our ear. Good. And then with the reaching down into our feet firmly, we're going to twist to our left. Lengthening up through the spine, shoulders are relaxed. Twisting as far as you comfortably can. Breathing here, gazing over that left hand. Good, and then gently untwisting back to the front. Release the hands. We're going to come into Parsva Uttanasana while we're here, or intense plank pose. In this pose, you may be shifting a little more weight into the left foot as we come forward in a moment. So taking your hands behind your back, either having the right hand on top of the left hand, or if you're able to take your palms together behind the back, do so. But try not to overarch it. Drop that tailbone, lengthen through the spine, push into the feet. Deep breath in. And exhale, lengthening out over the left leg. Releasing the head and neck. Keep pushing into the mound of the left big toe, drawing the outer left hip up and back. Breathing. Release the head and neck. Good. Push into the forward foot. Lift the torso up. And release the hands from whatever position that you were in. We're going to step back a little bit more onto the ball of the right foot. Into Virabhadrasana 1, or actually more crescent pose. But I like to come up onto the ball with my back foot. If you want to keep that foot down, feel free, but still draw the left hip back and right hip forward. Lifting through the back right thigh. Left knee is over the left heel. Lifting through the torso, widening through the upper body, arms come up. Breathing, gazing forward or at the floor, or up at the sky or the ceiling, whichever feels the most comfortable. Good, dropping the hands to the heart. We're going to pivot the back foot and open to warrior two. So right foot is now parallel to the back edge of the mat. Heel to that left foot over till it bisects the heel of the left foot bisects the right arch. Sink into your side lunge, opening the hips to the side, draw that right thigh back. Keep the left knee over the left heel or pointing toward the second and third toe. Shoulders are relaxed, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Turn the head, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. So like over the third left finger. Breathing as we stretch and open through the heart. Your Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Good, we're gonna straighten that left leg, but not come into a place where we hyperextend the left knee. Hug the thigh muscles into that bone, engaging the quadricep, lifting on that kneecap. Slide the left hand forward, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. Left hand comes down, right hand is up. We're opening the torso to the side. We're trying not to round through this left side body, and we're hinging at that left hip. Breathing here. Good, reaching up, hands on hips. You can pivot the left foot to be parallel to the back edge of the mat, and the right toes to face the back edge of the mat. Bring that left foot in about 3 to 4 feet behind the right foot, but still hip width apart, setting up for archer pose on this side. Right foot is facing forward, the left foot is at an angle. Right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. And we lift up through the spine, dropping that tailbone. Arms come up to shoulder height. This time we're drawing the bow back with our left hand. Push into your feet, engage your legs, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, twisting over to your right. Good. And then exhaling, coming back around to the front, releasing the hands down, setting up for Parsvakonasana or intense plank pose on this side. If you have the arms crossed behind you, holding onto opposite elbows, have the right hand on top this time. Or again, taking your hands into prayer position behind you. Dropping the tailbone, legs are strong and engaged. Inhale, lengthening up, and exhale, bowing forward. Shifting a little more weight toward the right foot. But as always, release the head and neck when you find your edge. Keep engaging that right quadricep. Push through the mound of the right big toe. And draw the outer right hip up and back. Breathing. Keep stretching that left heel out back behind you, even if it wants to lift a little off the floor. Just imagine it stretching back. Outer right hip still drawing up and back. Pushing into the mound of the right big toe. Noticing that back of the leg and how it feels. What is changing as you breathe here? What is shifting? Pushing into that forward foot, lifting that torso back up. Releasing the hands from whatever position that you had them in. Stepping back with that right foot into a high lunge or crescent pose, or dropping that heel for Virabhadrasana 1 if you want to do that version. Lifting to the back left thigh, but we're still drawing the right hip back and left hip forward. Right knee is over the right heel. Lift through the spine. Widening through the chest. Opening the arms to the sky. And either gazing up if you feel steady and solid in your base, or gazing forward, or at the earth if you're feeling a little more unsteady today. Feel even free to keep your hands at your heart if you're not feeling steady today. Breathing. Exhaling, we're dropping the hands to our heart and spinning and opening to Virabhadrasana 2. Right foot, left foot is parallel to the top edge of your mat, actually, because we're facing backwards. The right heel is bisecting the arch. We're opening the hips to the side, to the long edge, drawing that right thigh back, and left thigh back, right knee over the heel, pointing toward the second and third toe. Shoulders are relaxed. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Reaching between the fingertips. Gazing with a soft gaze, melting a little here as you gaze over the third right finger. Straightening that right leg, hugging the thigh muscle in so you can feel that kneecap lift. Slide the torso towards the right. And drop the right hand down, left hand up. So lengthening through that right side body, using your core to hold the torso up here. I don't have my weight in my hand. And I even push the back of the hand into my lower leg sometimes to help twist the torso open a little bit more. Gaze at the floor, the horizon. And breathe. Good. Press into your legs. Arms can come up. Hands on hip. Pivot the right foot parallel with the left. And just do a little heel toe dance. Come up to center. Shake your legs out. So for balance today, I wanted to play with half moon pose. And half moon pose is a pose that it's often nice to have a block with you. I didn't grab my blocks before class. So traditionally it's done without blocks, but a lot of times it'll give a little more feeling of stability if you can place your hand on a block. We also have walls in our houses that are great to use if you're feeling a little unsteady today. Really, the secret to balance is reaching down or grounding. But one ways we can do that is focusing on our breath, our alignment, but really the breath and a focal point. So in this pose, you can start by gazing at the floor. And then as we move through it, you can gaze more out the horizon. If you're feeling really steady, you can gaze at the ceiling. I'll walk you through that. But depending on what your level of comfort is for the day, and we don't need to do the fullest pose here if that's not what our body needs at this moment in time. So we're going to start on the right foot. And it's the same setup for Samastahiti, where we're grounding down through the 3 points of our foot. The second toe is in line with the center of our ankle, hugging the thigh muscles in. My weight is now almost entirely in this right foot. If you have a block, you can have it in front of you about 2 to 3 feet and a little to the right. You're going to lift the left leg. Now you're going to pretend that left leg is pushing, the foot is pushing into a wall. So draw those toes toward the shin. Gaze at the floor if you're feeling unsteady. Keep that left hand on your hip. Begin to rotate and open that hip to the side. Take the left arm up if you're ready. Continue gazing at the floor if that's where you need to be. Or go ahead and look at the ceiling. Push down through the 3 points of that right foot. Breathe. Focus. Extend from the sole of that left foot out through the crown of the head. Rotate to face the floor. Left foot comes down. Lifting the torso back up. Shake your legs. It's great. Forgot to tell you, if you're using the wall, you would want the wall on the right side of the body for that one. We're going to come into this pose on the left foot. So this is the same. If you want to have a wall for just help, not to hold you up, but in case you think you may fall, you want that wall on the left side of you. Reach down through the 3 points of the left foot. Second toe is in line with the center of the ankle. My weight is now on that left foot. If I have a block, it's in front of me a little bit and over to the left. Begin to take the left hand to the block or the floor. Lifting that right leg. Push into the 3 points of that left foot. Lift those hips a little higher. Push the right foot into the imaginary wall behind it. Roll the hip open. If you feel steady here, take that right arm to the ceiling. Breathing, find your focal point. Find the balance. Good. And exhale, rotate to face the floor. Foot comes together. Hands can come to the floor. Let's walk the feet back. You can even take a little stretch and a little downward dog here for a moment. And release, knees to the floor, wider than hips, big toes together. Push the hips back toward the heels. Arms can rest overhead, but on the forearms. Forehead to the floor, or arms alongside the legs. And just breathing, letting go. Taking several more moments there in your child's pose just to pause. This contact of the forehead to the floor is really grounding and soothing. It can be really powerful. You can even rock your hips a little side to side. I like to do that in my child's pose. Breathe into the hips. I don't care if your hips come all the way back toward your heels or not. If they're elevated in the air pretty high, I don't care. Just breathe. Soften. And again, scan through the body as you inhale. Coming through the feet to the crown of the head. Exhaling, crown of the head back toward the feet in your child's pose. Noticing where you could still soften a little bit more. Oh, maybe you're holding a little more between the shoulder blades and you can soften there and let go and melt. Maybe your jaw is a little more tight. You can let that soften and let go. The neck, the arms, the hips, the thighs. And allow for the softening with a few more breaths. And then sliding those hands under the shoulders, pushing yourself gently up. We're going to make our way to our folded blanket to settle in for Baddha Konasana. Now again, some of you, like we mentioned at the beginning of class, you may feel more comfortable sitting up on a bolster. Especially if your knees come up really high, try raising the floor, either adding another folded blanket or that bolster or some pillows. But ideally here, we're letting the knees open toward the earth, toward the floor. Lengthen up through the spine. I like to hold my ankles here and just get a nice little stretch as I lengthen up and resist with my arms. Just getting a nice lengthening up through the spine. Keep that lengthening as you begin to exhale and bring that torso forward. So lengthen with that long back. If you have any spinal issues, I prefer you stay with a long back anyway. If your back is healthy, and you can let your back begin to round when you find your edge, but we're all looking for that edge where we're feeling a nice opening, a nice stretch in those inner thighs, in those hips. Squeeze the upper leg toward the lower leg toward the upper leg a little bit. See if that creates a little more space in the hips for you to come forward. Don't force this forward folding. Just breathing, lengthening, exhaling, letting the body invite you deeper. Inhaling and lifting the torso up. Great job. Cup your hands under your knees. Use the arms to lift those legs. We're going to come into Upavista Konasana, or wide-legged forward fold. And letting the legs come as wide as they comfortably want to. It doesn't matter how wide that you stretch them. What I want you to think more about is sitting on the edge of the blanket, reaching the tailbone down, engaging the quadriceps here, drawing the toes back toward the shins. And as we come forward here, try to keep the knees and toes facing up to the ceiling rather than letting them roll back, or occasionally they roll forward. Lengthen through the spine, hands in front of you. We're just going to walk the hands forward, that long spine. And again, keeping the long spine if you have any back issues. Find your edge. Breathe into that edge. Don't force this edge. Stay with the beginning of that edge as you breathe, and then the body will be more inclined to release and open for you than if you're forcing. It doesn't like to be forced. It will often resist. And then as the body begins to relax and open a little more, keeping the legs active and strong, you may feel that you can come closer to the earth, but only as the body invites you in. If you want to round the back, you can, if your back is stable and you have no back issues. Breathing here. And then inhaling and lifting the torso up, walking the hands back. Lean back, cup the hands under the knees, bring them into the center. Take your knees a little wider than hips and gently rock side to side. Just releasing any energy that kind of got built up and stuck and stagnant, moving that energy. We're going to come onto the floor next, onto our bellies. Sometimes it's nice to have a blanket underneath you when we do that. So if you want to open a blanket up to lay on top of, feel free. And we're going to be coming into Bhujangasana, or Cobra pose. We play with this pose often in our Surya Namaskar, but we don't always visit it as a standalone pose. And it's a really wonderful pose for working with kidney energy and strengthening the low back, all of that good stuff. So wiggle those legs out long behind you. Push the tops of the feet into the floor, legs are together. We're going to start with our hands palms down under the shoulders, the tops of the fingers somewhere around the top of the shoulders, forehead in touch with the floor. We're going to come into this 3 times. Inhale, lifting the forehead up off the floor, push into the hands. And this first time, we're not going to use our hands. We're just using the strength of the back, but lengthen out through the spine as you inhale. And then exhale, releasing back down. Turn your head to the left. Keep the hands under the shoulders and just take a breath. Good. Forehead to the floor. Tops of the feet pushed into the floor firmly. Our glutes are engaged. Tailbone is reaching down. Inhale, we're lifting up effortlessly and lifting a little higher. Elbows stay in, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing, lengthening through the spine. And pulling the hands on the floor towards you a little. Lengthen the spine. As you come down, turn your head to the right and take a breath. Good. Forehead to the floor, tops of the feet pushing down. Hands in underneath the shoulders. Tailbone is neutral and we're engaging the glutes, using our back muscles to lift us initially and then coming all the way up to your fullest cobra. Push the hands into the floor, drag them towards the body without actually moving them. Breathing through the opening in the spine. Breathing through the front of the body and the back of the body. The legs are active and engaged, allowing you to lift maybe higher. Any issues in your back, please come down. Otherwise, stay for another 2 breaths. Good, release down. I'm gonna push right on up into table. Bring the knees forward. And we're gonna sit back, coming into a seated twist. So stretching both legs out in front of you. Bend the right knee up. Cross the right leg over the left. Keep the left toes drawing toward the shin. Right knee is facing up, lengthening through the spine. Inhaling, taking the right arm up and around and down behind you. Left arm along to the temple. We're twisting to the right. Drop that left elbow outside the right knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, sink into your twist a little deeper. Keep that rhythm. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, maybe twisting a little further. Shoulders are relaxed. And exhaling back around to the front, leaning back and cross the legs. Bending the left knee up, cross that foot over the right leg. Right toes toward the shin. Left foot reaching down through the 3 points, the knee facing up. Lengthen through the spine. Left arm up and around and down behind you. And right arm alongside the temple, twisting to the left. Drop the right arm outside the left knee. And inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, sink into your twist. Lengthening as you inhale. Keep that length and exhale deeper. Shoulders relax. And exhaling back around towards the front. Lean back and cross the legs. We're going to come onto our backs next. Just taking a moment to pause here. Laying on your back. Stretching the spine long. We're going to come into Viparita Karani, or legs of the wall. So just laying here on your mat, extending the legs up. If this is difficult for you, you can hold the backs of your legs, but we're just going to pause here and breathe. You can roll up to the side and place your palms under your sacrum. to support your low back if you have any low back issues. Otherwise, have them alongside of you, shoulder blades under you, palms pressing into the floor. Rock your head a little side to side. Keep breathing. Softening, but keeping those legs up. Good. Point the toes. Draw the toes back toward the shin. Point the toes. Draw the toes back toward the shin. Point the toes. And pull them back toward the shin. Bend the knees, draw that into the chest and breathe. Rolling over to the side. Pushing yourself back up. Just a little core work before we do our closing practice. Taking a moment to come into boat pose or Navasana. Holding behind the knees, lengthen up through that spine. So keeping the spine long is key here. Engaging that core, even drawing that belly button in and up. Begin to lean back. Bringing the lower legs parallel with the mat. You can point your toes if you want here. If you feel like this is enough of a challenge for you, staying here or taking the arms out alongside the body. Breathe. Point the legs a little more if you want. Lengthening up through that spine. Continue to keep that spine long. If you need to, keep the knees bent. Just taking a few more breaths here. Good. Bend the knees. Take the torso and round it over the legs. Release the head. Go ahead and roll right on back to your back. We're going to draw the knees in. Stretching the left leg out long. Point the toes to the ceiling. Keep the right knee bent, but take the foot to the floor. Move the hips to the right. And roll onto your left hip. Right knee can be guided to the left by that left hand, but hook the toes behind the left leg. Right arm stays off the shoulder T position. We never let the right shoulder lift off the floor. So breathing here in your twist. You can turn your head if you want to look at the right hand. Palm can be up or down. Releasing the tailbone down towards the foot. And then rolling onto the back, hugging that right knee in. Straighten that leg out on the floor. Move the hips over to center. Right leg is the one that's straight. Draw the right toes toward the shin. Bend the left knee. Move the hips over to the left. Roll into the right hip. Hook the left toes behind the right leg. And left shoulder stays touching the floor. Palm is up or down. Reaching that tailbone down. Make sure you're not curling in that low back too much. As you breathe, gazing at that left hand if you want. Good. Rolling onto the back, hugging the left knee in as you come back. And then moving your hips back into center. Stretch the legs out long. Feet are out toward the edges of your mat. Arms out away from the side. Draw the shoulder blades underneath of you. Rock the head a little side to side. Deep breath in. Head rests in the center. Eyes closed. And exhale through the mouth, releasing that entire body into the floor. You've made it to Savasana, the most prized pose. Letting the body really absorb the actions of your practice. Pausing here to continue to let the body release into the floor. Then just letting go of your breath. Let your body just breathe. It can breathe effortlessly without your even needing to do anything. Coming to that place of ease and rest. I am going to read to you a poem by Rumi called The Guest House. And I love this poem for many reasons, because it speaks to allowing those uncomfortable moments and those uncomfortable feelings to exist, to know that as we stay present with them, they are often inviting us to grow and learn. We can stay with that and understand what that emotion, difficult emotion or feeling is telling us. So the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes in, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And then allowing that breath to deepen a little more. Allowing from that breath a little movement to begin as you stretch and move. Maybe taking the arms overhead and pointing the toes and just stretching. Thinking of your cat and dog as they wake up from a little nap. Hug your knees in, releasing the back. Rolling to your right side for a moment to pause. I'm going to invite you to be with those uncomfortable places and really listen to what the story is. What is the body telling you when you're in that place of discomfort? Something is coming to the surface because it wants attention. Know that you have the strength to be with whatever that is. Simply breathe and be present. Pushing into your left hand, lifting the torso back to a seated position. I'm going to end class with just one Om as we started. So reaching your tailbone down, whatever seated position you've come to. Lengthening through the spine, kind of the head reaching up, shoulders relaxed. Palms together, pushing them together in front of your breastbone. Deep breath in and out through the mouth. Inhaling for one Om. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me on my mat and yours.